But I think my favorite scene of the episode has got to be that scene with...
I'm completely pulled out of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the rest of the show, it better be incredible for any of this to make sense to me.
We are in orbit around Persephone 5, where I have been sent to confer with
What the hell?
Mark Jameson in regard to an extraordinary situation.
Who was that? Because it's obviously not an actual old person.
Yeah, but we can see how old people can live with bones, right? Like 130 something.
I am Cardus,
Oh.
governor of Morden 4. A dissident group of terrorists.
I like those statues. Oh, he's got like guns on the wall, like futuristic guns.
The lives of the hostages will depend on Starfleet delivering this man to Morden. Commander Mark Jameson.
Received and acknowledged, sir. Picard out.
Nearly 1,500 now, sir.
Troy's back, by the way.
Oh, yay. Well, I guess it's true. No one's retiring in the future.
That Social Security ran up long ago.
Oh God, he's in a pike chair.
This is my executive officer, Commander William Riker.
My pleasure, sir. Ma'am?
My wife, Anne. On any assignment I accompany, Starfleet has designated me senior mission officer. I control the away team and all its actions. Is that understood?
Oh boy.
You command the ship, but the mission is mine. I trust you are in full agreement.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Riker's like, nope.
Doesn't need any proof or, yeah, I believe you. But what would the reason be for casting? He has to go through some type of age transformation or something. Like, why would you cast a young person and put old age makeup on them? You know what I mean? Unless they really just didn't want to cast the really old person. They tried casting like a 90-year-old. They're like, this isn't working. We got to go a different way.
Yeah, just keeps forgetting the lines, missing his cues. It's like, you know what? Put a young person there. Make him old.
Such an odd setup. It was so weird. It's like so many weird little details like that. And then he's like, this is my wife. It's like, okay, that's kind of odd.
I'm sure she'll come into play somehow.
Yeah.
The mission is mine. All right. But I like how he didn't just commandeer the ship. I like how it's just like, as you know, being a senior officer, the ship is mine. At least, it's just the away team. But I'm sure as soon as the away team goes away, he's going to be a total dick.
Yeah, at least for now, he was like, you're in agreement, right? Like, he was asking him at least. But not really, didn't give him a choice.
Yeah.
It was cool, too, to see that they kept the pike chair type model.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jameson, I see time has not been kind. They say they will brook no excuses. If there are any offered, your ambassador and his people will
You gonna
die.
do something? What are you cooking up, Troy?
Let her cook.
Tell them I accept the conditions of negotiation.
I will do so immediately.
Captain, I feel like that's actually a younger man in makeup.
He told me that the terrorists are desperate enough to kill if they're crossed. They are willing to talk one-on-one, but...
Oh, shit. Okay.
DC Fontana.
I'm ready for Admiral Jameson now.
Ready for what, Captain?
Just a routine medical checkup.
You think Troy would be like, Captain, can I speak to you alone for a moment?
Can't just push it in. You got to press a button, huh?
Yep.
About time.
They're on to me.
We gotta get the hell out of here. It's that damn Betazoid.
When? You haven't said anything?
It'll pass. Just give me a moment.
It'll pass. Just another heart attack.
Last check of this, and I'd have to expect it.
You're sure?
Wasn't he supposed to go to Dr. Crusher anyway?
Yeah, and he was so like, hey, what do you mean? What? I want to do that. But I don't know if they just cut that.
All the medical information the Admiral provided is satisfactory, sir.
There you go.
There you go.
Except for one thing. The test results he gave me aren't 2 days old, they're 2 months old. The medical records coder always includes the date as part of the file number. He lied to me, sir, and I don't know why.
I suspect he's a young man in old age makeup. Everybody is like, immediately recognizes it, but no one says anything to him.
Now, I have a gut feeling he's hiding something.
Well, that is an observation I would expect from Counselor Troy.
Yes, thank you. Where is she?
Bones at 130 looks better than him at 85.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they didn't cast an actual old person.
Admiral, you only have the con temporarily.
Of course she's your ship. I'll just keep an eye on her for a while.
So ridiculous.
Oh, darling. Mark?
I told you I just needed to get back in space again.
Okay, so how long until he looks?
Younger.
Yeah. Mike Flanagan must have watched this one when he made Midnight Mass.
Now you tell me what the hell is going on.
I don't know.
Oh, another heart attack.
You'll get younger, but you'll have a heart attack every day.
Every night before bed. Will you live through it? Day by day, you'll find out.
Captain?
Mrs. Jameson, I have to ask the Admiral some questions.
Ask away.
Oh, man.
There is a planet in the Cerberus system, Cerberus 2. They say the natives there have a process that rejuvenates the body, gives you your youth back.
Yes, I've heard of that story. It's a myth.
It's true, Picard.
It's basically like a fountain of youth.
I got enough for both of us, Annie, but I had to test it on myself first. I couldn't risk you. The improvement was there, and then when this hostage situation came up, I knew I had to be at my peak to deal with it.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So you took the whole dose?
I took both of them.
Oh.
I'm strong, I'm alert, fit. I'm fit than a new uppercut, and I'm getting younger.
Kind of screwed over his wife.
Yeah, I got one for you, but I took it.
Annie, what good was I to you? We can be together again.
Let me go.
I can get you another supply of the drug.
I do like the twist there. You know, I was afraid he was going to be like, as soon as he gets younger, yeah, get away from me, you old bag, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you were just married to her. But it's actually her that's just
Yeah.
like sickened with him.
I also like the twist that he took both doses.
Excellent lighting
This
right
is
here.
great, yeah.
I wish to open a communication frequency to Carners.
Oh, he's gonna lean forward into the light and he's even younger.
There are no terrorists. You have the hostages.
And if I have, you'll come. Even if you don't have much honor left.
Whoa, dude, another twist. I did not see that coming. So he just set up this whole ruse. It's not even another party.
Just to mess with this guy.
Remember how people said this season was bad?
Because I plan to personally lead the away team on an armed rescue mission to get them out of there.
He does have lead over the away team.
Bring up the plans I requested on the view screen, please.
So weird.
I don't like him in the chair.
Now he's young again and has his life to live over. Doctor, she has to know. Know what?
Jeez, Troy. All right.
Your husband,
What is it?
he's not stabilizing. He may not have that life to live over.
Good to know that Dr. Beverly clearly had already told Troy, therefore violating HIPAA.
HIPAA was abolished in the 2212
Medical information is free in public.
I couldn't sleep either.
I never could before mission. Always wound up in the observation lounge, staring out at the stars, thinking.
Oh, he's young.
I gave Garnas the weapons he wanted.
You did what?
I gave exactly the same weapons to his rivals. My interpretation of the Prime Directive. Let them solve their problems with those arms on an equal basis.
And that decision plunged them into 40 years of civil war.
Oof.
I thought a minor war, it would be settled in less than a year. How would I know it would take 4 decades?
Even so, a year-long war, that's still a lot.
Yeah.
I falsified the records to Starfleet.
Oh no!
63 people came away safe, but millions died on Mordan because I delivered those weapons.
It's kind of weird to see what he really looks like now that we've seen him old the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I should have done the first time. We're taking the hostages out by force if necessary, no deals.
Jeez, dude. Talk about sophisticated story for this episode.
This is heavy.
I am the senior mission commander, and I am leading this team.
But I am the captain of the ship. And I have a right to accompany him.
Oh.
Check.
Riker, you're in command of the Enterprise. Energize.
This guy's been pretty good, by the way.
Oh, he's great, yeah.
It's always nice when you get a guest character and they're actually a nice addition to the episode.
Yeah, understandable in their actions, layered.
Yeah, complex. Good writing. No surprise after seeing DC Fontana's name attached.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Nice little set here.
I know these tunnels like the back of my own hand. Keep scanning for signs of human life forms. Karnas held the hostages in these tunnels before.
I also like how his shirt's a little bit different.
Yeah, he's got.
Because he's from like a different generation.
Yeah, he's also an admiral, so he maybe gets an extra little sash or something.
Oh yeah, that too probably.
Captain, the Admiral is definitely incorrect. It was sealed off 2 years ago.
No doubt you're right, Mr. Data. However, 45 years ago, I'm sure it linked in with the tunnels the Admiral remembers.
And he's in charge, so you gotta follow him.
Yep.
Damn. This is the most direct route. Set phasers to cut through.
The phasers look interesting.
Yeah. This is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Don't cross the streams.
We could just beam in over there.
Karnas may not have them in the same place.
You say Karnas might not have them in the same place, but you said you're sure they have them in this place?
Get your story straight.
Come on, bro. Your mind should be fine now. You're not 80 anymore.
Also, don't you think like those edges would be like white hot from getting
Oh,
phased?
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, actually, there's a...
Oh, here we go. Shoot out.
This guy's like, I'm not taking cover. Oh! Now I bet he's gonna have another heart attack. Whoa!
There you go, Data.
Yeah!
The phasers are set on kill. Thank you, Mr. Data. I have heard the sound before.
Whoa, got him. Oh, man, Tasha's taking them all out.
There we go, Yara. Let's go.
Enterprise, this is Picard. 6 to beam up, now!
Ah, finally. Beaming out with no problem. I thought for sure, oh, they're jamming the...
Yeah. Oh, I failed that mission.
Time to go.
The hostages are now all dead.
Let's get the hell out of here.
It is interesting to just see them fail like that, though. Even though not really their fault.
Dr. Crusher requests your presence in sickbay immediately, sir.
I'm on my way.
Oh, I like these tracking shots.
Yeah, yeah. Very close.
I want Jameson.
Karnas is his, Admiral Mark Jameson.
What?
This is what the drug has done to him.
This story you are telling me is unbelievable.
We'll just wait about 50 to 60 years, and then,
Karnas, I asked Dr. Crusher to bring with her the visual records we made of the Admiral's deterioration. Will you look at them?
You're wasting my time, Picard.
Just look.
I feel like he'll look at this and still just be like, ah, no,
It's a trick.
yeah, get that trickery out of here.
This is the man I want.
Yeah, Karnas. Look.
Got the worst pictures of him.
Yeah, we took a screenshot from every scene.
He brought this retribution on himself.
No, I don't believe you. You're shielding Jameson on the ship and you're telling me this tale to save his life.
Dude, are you serious, dude?
There were only two of us at the meeting. You didn't even trust your lieutenants then.
This guy is great.
If it is you, show me the scar.
Here! The blood cut you gave me to seal our bargain!
Ooh.
That's nice. That's a nice touch.
I thought I would have healed it.
It is you. Somehow, it is you.
Explain it to you.
I have no clue how it's you. Were you listening at all? Oh, God.
Then die by your own weapon. No. No, my revenge will be in seeing you live like this.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yes.
I will always love you.
Annie, with the golden hair, I see only the gold.
Oh, man, his eyes.
The hostages will be freed immediately, Captain.
As soon as you bring me Jameson. Damn.
Mr. LaForge, prepare to take us out of orbit. Set course for ISIS 3.
Aye, sir. Leaving orbit.
this stuff that made him young is still out there. Like, he just took the whole thing, but if, in theory, he just took it how it was explained, like...
Yeah, it could have been fine.
Is anyone gonna go explore that, or... Nope, never talk about it again.
You know, people just skip to the reactions and that's it. No one watches it. You know how cringe this is? I feel like a terrible... Yeah, okay, all right, fine. Hey, that was pretty great, huh? Well, guess what? You can let us know and let all Star Trek fans know by hitting the like button down below and dropping a comment. Yeah, okay, got it, thanks.
Yeah, I really liked this episode, and I think it's mostly due to this guest actor. Clayton Rohner as Admiral Mark Jameson was great, and I was kind of making fun of it a lot when he first shows up as clearly this person in old man makeup, and I'm like, why did they have to do this? Obviously, it becomes clear as you get into the episode why. His performance does get stronger the less makeup he has to wear, which I think is fair, but he was actually still pretty believable as an old man, too.
Yeah, I mean, in the back of our heads, we knew that, you know, okay, this is a young guy, but I think he did very well. Like, even his voice, like, it didn't just switch night and day. Like, it was slowly going back to, like, a young man's voice. And I like the middle makeup where it's, like, Back to the Future makeup, you know, like, older Biff Tannen, like 50 years old Biff. So seeing that was super neat, but none of it took away from his performance at all. Like, he was, like, the best part.
Yeah, I would agree. Also, like, sneaky good performances. Marsha Hunt, who played Anne Jameson. Not as big of a part in the episode, but they have a lot of conflict within their own relationship that we get to see. And all of that's great. And that's just one of the many layers I mentioned. There are so many layers to this episode, but I think my favorite scene of the episode has got to be that scene with the reveal where he talks about this essentially fountain of youth potion.
I didn't have time to wait for the drug to work naturally.
So you took the whole dose?
I took both of them.
Which ends up causing his demise, but...
Yeah, he says he's an expert negotiator, and, like, he negotiated a treaty on this planet, so, like, as part of it, like, he was able to get this medicine. He was prepared to take our crew down there and fight, so it's, like, another reveal. It's like, oh, my God, this guy sucks. Lied to Starfleet, brought weapons on both sides, similar to, like, issues in A Private Little War, I believe, because the Klingons were supplying weapons to the other side. Yeah, just like so much going on at once.
The lighting was excellent.
Fantastic lighting. And like once we knew what was happening, like, okay, he's getting younger. And like we're going to like show him in shadow to not see the changes. But even the dramatic effects, like the Skype call with just him and Karnas.
Yeah, he's shrouded in darkness the whole time. Yeah. Lighting was excellent. The whole mood of the whole episode, like, just had this heavy tone to it. That I was able to easily get over the goofy old man makeup and still invested the story. Even before he started de-aging, I was still able to get invested and get past that, and then luckily it goes away eventually. Really enjoyed that. The scene you brought up where it's just him and Picard and he's telling him, you know, his whole backstory basically. Really liked that scene as well. Probably not the best episode for like much of the crew, like much of them are pretty much sidelined. However, I thought this was Picard's best episode. I mean, he on one hand is like compliant and understands that this guy in some ways is above him as the senior mission officer, I think he calls himself, with the away team, but then he stands up for himself.
But I am the captain of the ship, and I have a right to accompany him.
He still takes control in the final scene of the episode, beaming down with him to the planet. I thought he was really strong this episode, which was very refreshing to see.
Yeah, especially after the last one, which he didn't get to do much besides like the binary stuff at the end with Riker. But yeah, the seeing him like finally like fill out his role a little bit more was nice. And you're right, because this was the Admiral's episode. Like there were scenes where it was just him and his wife, him and Karnas, where like that doesn't often happen, where like none of our crew members are on there.
Yeah.
And I like this character because he didn't take control of the Enterprise. That's not what he wanted. Like I thought, like I totally expected. You know, he takes his fountain of youth. I'm gonna relive my glory days.
Yeah.
I'm a senior and younger officer. It's like, nope. I got to do this right. I screwed this planet over. I'm living with this guilt. I have this fountain of youth. I'm gonna go save these hostages.
Yeah, and the ending scene as well down on that planet I thought was great. He's covered in sweat. He's like clearly ill.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
physical acting from him was great. And then also the other guy, Carnass. I loved how he just refused to believe it.
No, I don't believe you. You're shielding Jameson on the ship and you're telling me this tale to save his life.
There's so many scenes in like movies or TV shows where they never explain to the other character like what's happening, but Picard just laid out the whole thing to him. And even after that, oh, enough of this facade. You just told him what happened. And even when it was just Carnass
Jameson.
and Jameson, it's like he brought up like the one intimate detail that only them would know. Oh, he coached you. It's like, I just wanted to reach through the screen and be like, shut up.
Yeah, it led up to the good moment with the showing the scar.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a good moment. But yeah, it got a little bit ridiculous where they literally showed him the proof and he's like, you haven't been on your ship somewhere. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, the proof with the most unflattering pictures ever.
But I just don't have any complaints. Like, I guess like the main thing would just be that a lot of the crew is a little bit in the background. But I mean, they don't need to be the focus every single time. The show has been, if nothing else, it's been great with the characters. So I'm okay to have an episode where a lot of them are a little bit in the background to have such a great guest performance. You know, come on. Like, if they sidelined them and there was nothing to take their place, the episode would just be bad. But having this great guest performance, both the Admiral and his wife, both be so great, it added a lot to the episode and it made it something we hadn't seen before. And for it to have a war theme and kind of have more of a little bit of an action story to it, with the whole, shootout and everything. It was a lot that Next Generation thus far hasn't offered.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice change up for me.
Like, he was like a bad member of Starfleet because he lied, but like I've talked about it before, like morally gray character, like where he thought he was doing the right thing, made a bad choice, and I gotta fix it.
Okay, we're going to get into our patron takes. This is where our lovely community over on Patreon gets to give their thoughts, opinions on the episode, as well as ask us questions or predict how we're going to feel about it. We read these right now for the first time after watching the episode and fully discussing it. So we only read a few of them, but there's a whole discussion that takes place over on Patreon. So go over there to check that out. This is from JD. The ham-off at the end between Jameson and Carnass is fun to watch. Although they did manage to keep the plot from going too off the rails, and there is some real emotional weight to Jameson's search for redemption. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I love that they can both simultaneously have this really deep emotional story in the episode while still just like acting so over the top and his whole like, oh, that's not him, that's not Jameson, and like their face to face at the end is so like just like visceral, like over the top, but it like kind of fits somehow still, because I mean you have this goofy premise where this old man's aging down. Like, it's an inherently silly thing. Carnass even says, he's like, what you've told me is unbelievable. It's like, yeah, it is. And are they going to do anything about it after this? Like, no one's ever going to talk about that again, probably, but...
Oh, this one's from Steven Johnson. This is definitely one of the episodes of Star Trek The Next Generation, and he puts a quote here. I think this might be what you call a mixed bag, Jay. Quote, dash Mike.
I'm curious what people don't like about it. I mean, besides the makeup.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the old man performance. Like, they thought it was distracting, like the makeup or whatever. But, I mean, I thought it was fine. I mean, we knew what it was. This one's from James Botas. I guess Jameson started a private little war.
I guess so,
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely seems like the patrons are not on the side of... the patrons are not on the positive side for this episode, so we're definitely at odds. This one from Dan Krantz. Congratulations, boys. You just made it through the worst episode of the season, or possibly even the series, for that matter.
Jesus Christ.
Between the terrible aging makeup, I'll give you that one, the extreme overacting, and the ridiculous plot, this one comes off as a complete dud. The remaining 6.5 seasons have a few clunkers here and there, even a few stinkers, but nothing as bad as this steaming turd. Wow, yeah, I mean, I couldn't disagree more. And this is another example of, like, I don't know what it is. I truly don't know what it is that people don't like about this. The rest of the show, it better be incredible for any of this to make sense to me.
Yeah, it's like, I really enjoyed this one.
I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
The old age makeup is like the one thing that I can be like, yeah, that's obviously, it looks pretty ridiculous. Like, we called it out right away.
Yeah. I mean, we were poking fun at Carnass for like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy's in Rocky IV, by the way. He plays like I think it's like the Russian president. This one's from Mike Rogers. A meh episode. It also seems a bit out of place for the series. Can't pin down why. I remember being impressed with the first old age makeup. I liked how it concentrated on bone structure instead of wrinkles. It is the progressive de-aging makeups that fall short, and in 2023 HD they all don't stand up, which is understandable. The underpinning of this episode is exploring what makes terrorists terrorists. I think it falls flat on that too. Yeah, that's a good point. We don't really know why the Civil War's happening. They don't really delve deep into the issues, right? Of like why it's happening. They just like call they called this guy for a treaty. They just gave him both weapons, and then
that's it basically.
Yeah.
I don't know like the actual root reason or whatever. Look, man. Again, I gotta disagree. I fully, am I saying that this makeup was like convincing? Like I thought it was an old man? No, but I'm accepting. It's funny of all things that like people always comment. You have to remember this was the '80s, or back in TOS, even more so. Like
where are those comments now?
Yeah, you guys have to keep in mind the time and the era. It's like for once I feel like we're doing that and no one else is. It's like yeah, it's goofy old age makeup. Whatever. Like as he's de-aging, it looks kind of silly. Whatever. It's like that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe a step below Biff Tannen makeup in Back to the Future, where Biff Tannen like looks like he's in his 50s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like on the same level as this. Yeah.
Yeah, like same about level. Like not to the point where it's like I'm completely pulled out of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just something where it's like I know that's not what he really looks like.
Yeah.
Especially since he's de-aging, and once we got to his actual his form, like his actual his final form. But once we got to like him as he actually looks, I'm like, oh, okay. But like it doesn't pull me out of it. But what would pull me out of it is if I was watching Star Trek Continues.
It's all a different actor. Jesus Christ, all right.
I thought this episode was a ripoff of the original series episode, The Deadly Years, but since you hated that episode, perhaps you'll actually like this one more. You're absolutely right.
I don't know if I could like anything less than The Deadly Years. I don't think this episode's a ripoff of that at all. The only similarity is there is old age makeup used, but in The Deadly Years, they're all getting older, and in this, the one person, the guest character, is getting younger. The Deadly Years, to me, this is The Deadly Years summed up. Aren't old people annoying and hilarious? That's The Deadly Years.
Yeah.
This had an actual plot that I was interested in, and the character de-aging while the plot itself is ridiculous, and it's kind of like, okay, is anyone going to follow up on this de-aging stuff? Even that aside, the motivations of the character himself made sense to me, and I really enjoyed. So yeah, I did like this one more.
Yeah, but Josh, the point of the Deadly Years being slow is because they were getting old.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make it so much better?
Old people are really like that. Therefore, the episode is good.